Hello and welcome to this special episode. I'm Jenny, founder of Gentle Landmark and the host of Gathering Voices. This is your go to podcast for real, raw stories from women who are out here building businesses, creating change, and making waves in their communities. This isn't just any episode, this is the live recording from our incredible podcast launch party. Surrounded by an amazing community, we explored affirmation inspired conversations, shared stories, and celebrated the power of connection and empowerment. Get ready to relive this energy, inspiration, and heartfelt moments from that unforgettable night.
My name is Imani, and my card says, I am worthy of having anything I want. I am clearing the path to my dreams. The first part, I'm worthy of having anything that I want. I just feel like that's something that I struggle with, sometimes feeling like I'm deserving of certain things that I know that even if I work hard for it or don't always have to work hard for it, I just deserve nice things too. And the second part, I'm clearing my path or the path to my dreams. I actually recently just decided to put my mental health first and I quit my job. I wasn't feeling like the purpose of me being there was being fulfilled. Like it was just not a situation where my cup was being filled. I was just pouring from an empty cup. But I do still think that the skills that I took are something that's going to stay with me for the long run. So even in that transition, I'm still making choices that are aligning with what I actually want to do in real life. And I think that that's more fulfilling than just saying that I have a job to survive. So this is like so timely because this is literally my life right now.
Hi guys. So my name is Alasia, if you don't know me, but I go by Lay. And my card is I am deserving of fun, pleasure, and joy in my life. So when I saw this, I gravitated towards it because my middle name is Joy and it says and joy in my life, right? So I'm now I'm nervous. Okay, wait, okay, I got this. So I have a Capricorn stellium. I don't know if you guys are like into astrology, and it's so hard for me to have a good like work life balance. So I love this. It says I am deserving of fun, and that's so important to like really enjoy life and not be working all the time.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica. Hi. My card says, I have everything within me to succeed. Every day I am closer to my dreams. Now, I picked this because I feel like sometimes I think that to be successful, I have to learn more first or do more stuff, or I have to have these experiences and then I'll be ready for this thing. But I already have everything inside me. Like reading this really made me think like, I just need to share things as I'm going through them. I don't need to wait until I got smarter or until I did this thing or until I'm fitter or until I did X, Y, and Z. I can just do it now. And the people who are meant to find what I share or what I do will find me. And from that, things will happen. I'll be closer to my dreams. Yeah.
My name's Tahira, if you don't know, and mine says, I let go of all fear of the future. I am where I'm meant to be. Like these past few months or like year has been trials and tribulations. And to the point, like I'm waking up every day with like anxiety. So I feel like I'm in a dope season. I'm being tested a lot. So just having faith in God that He has me exactly where I'm meant to be. And like where I was a few months ago to where I'm at now, like in every aspect of my life, I didn't think I would be. Like He has put so many people in my life, so many connections. And I really don't see the full picture right now, but eventually I will. I feel it all coming together. And, we're all creatives in this room. And I think it's can be frustrating when you want to do 1,000 things at once and then society tells you you have to do one thing. So it's just like when you want to do 1,000 things at once, you're like, okay, do I pursue this, do I pursue that? Like it can be very confusing. So I just like try to remind myself to remember to breathe and to know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be and I'm doing exactly what God has planned for me. So just one step at a time.
Absolutely. And I'll actually echo off of that because one thing for me, when I was starting my business is I kept seeing from coaches on Instagram and all those, they're like, you need to pick a niche. I say no. Exactly. What is a niche? What's a niche? And it's like you don't have to fit in that box that society is trying to tell you that you need to be in. So again, with my podcast and actually all I do with Gentle Landmark, it's about highlighting and maybe capitalizing on the fact that we don't need to be just one thing, because we are not one thing. We are everything. We have so many things going on, and that's what makes us us, right? So be your true, authentic self and live in it, and know that eventually, as you go through life, it's all going to come together.
I'm Ariana. Okay, mine says, I resonated with that a lot, by the way. Like, I'm going to say something about it. I deserve to be happy. My heart is full and free. So I actually did like a blind pick. I closed my eyes and I picked a cup. And I just really resonated with this today. I looked at this cup initially and I was like, oh, like I may choose that one. But of course, I had to read all of them. But when I ended up picking this one, I was like, wow, no matter if I want another one of the messages, like this was the message for me today. And I feel like, yeah, like I just went on a trip. I was in Europe for like a week and it's my first time there. And right before the trip, I'd barely planned. I was like stressed. Like I didn't do everything that I would typically do. And I was sort of like, okay, like, am I even ready to go? So I was like down in the dumps, not gonna lie. But, you know, the day before, the day of, I was like, I'm just gonna be happy, enjoy the trip, and maybe things will change. My feelings about things and life will change. And I came back feeling so much better. And I think it's because, like, even though things were not perfect and I wasn't fully doing exactly what I wanted to do on the trip, whether it be recording, photos, whatever, I kind of like was just okay with everything and realized, you know, I gotta be happy to like live a good life and not just, you know, complain, stress about a niche or like a vlog or an outfit or a photo because I'm gonna show up as me anyway. And yeah, I just gotta be happy. So I'm resonating with this today because I feel like, yeah, being happy is what I have to be. Like it, you don't have to like not be. You don't have to be sad just because things aren't like perfect. Like, that's what I'm resonating with today. Thank you guys. Hello, my name is Jenny as well, and I too am a perfectionist. Oh, so I resonated with that. But my card says, "I honor how I want to feel. Being myself is enough." And I did read every single one like 3 times. I was like, I need to pick the perfect one. But then I just went with this one because it called out to me because I feel like the last year I've been definitely on a journey of discovering myself, growing a lot more, learning a lot more about myself and things that maybe I don't necessarily want to know, but I know that I'm growing from knowing those things and discovering those things about myself. So accepting certain things about who I am and how I feel about things has been really difficult sometimes. So this one really stuck out to me for that reason because I feel like I'm reminding myself every day that I feel certain things and I don't need to feel a certain way just because others maybe feel that way or society tells me to feel that way. How I feel is valid and how I feel and who I am is enough. So, yeah, this resonated.
Hello, my name is Samaya, but you can call me Sam. My card is I attract wealth and stability by being my authentic self. This was the first card that I chose, but I would say that this resonates with me because all my life I felt like a chameleon. Most of my life growing up, I felt like I had to act a certain way or be in a certain way to fit in certain groups. But now, since I'm turning 30 this year, I decided that I want to be myself and who I am fully, completely, because I am enough. And this have attracted me to places like this and brought opportunities with other businesses and things of that nature. So, yeah, I just want to continue to be myself and spread my light and do my thing. And yeah, just to be a happy, wealthy life. Yeah.
I don't know how old everyone is in this space. You don't have to say it, but I am 31, and I will say that my 30s turned a whole new chapter for me. I'm just me. Like, you take it or you leave it. You got this.
My name's Altea. I'm actually a First Nations person of Canada, but I moved here last year and call Brooklyn home now. Thank you. So my affirmation is I am okay with saying no to what does not serve me. Nothing holds me back. So I work in a space where I invest in Indigenous and Native entrepreneurs. And it's a really shitty time right now. So many folks are being silenced, women, people of color, Native folks. And I just picked this because I feel like every day I read something new that shuts down Native folks. And I am going to maybe replace one of the words in my affirmation, which is, it says nothing holds me back, but the mantra I'm bringing into my work is nothing holds us back. And there's so many people out there doing the good work, Jenny included, and it's really hard to be doing that good work right now.
I'm so glad to be here tonight. Just by the fact of being just in front of you guys, I feel like it's great thing is like I'm going somewhere. So my card says I'm becoming the best version of myself. Okay, so when I picked that card, I was like, oh, it, it's my life right now. I went through like a lot lately. So I was like, oh, it's too late. I'm getting older. So I don't know if I'm going to become some like the person that I want to become. But I feel it's never too late. Like there's no good time to start back. There's no good time to go back and like start again because God always have a plan for me, and I'm sure that like I'll get there. I'll get to the place that I want to be if I trust myself and if I decide to just start back again. And I just felt like even last week, okay, I'm start learning how to read again because I wanted to become a reader. I never did that before. Never. I wanted to become like a runner, and like I never start because I was like, oh, I cannot like do that. But last week I ran like my first 1 mile without stopping. So I feel like just start if you want to like have something in your life. Just start because you never know. So sorry, because my English is not that good. French is my first language, so yeah. Thank you.
I'm Jasmine. My card says, I am creating a life of passion and purpose. And first, I gravitated towards this card because this is one of my favorite colors. But also, so today is the first day of spring. So happy spring equinox. One thing I started doing recently was celebrating my personal new year on the first day of spring because I feel like it makes more sense. Nature's unfurling, I'm unfurling, like making goals in the dead of winter in New York City doesn't really vibe with me, like doesn't make any sense. And I've been really intentional about it. So I go to like the farmer's market and I get things that are local and I wake up early and I make myself a really nice breakfast from like local food. And I made myself a tea blend and it was just like such a nice start to my day. And it's a reminder that like I have agency. I can create the passion. I can like bring the energy. I don't have to wait for permission or anyone else. And so that's why I really like this card.
My name's Brianna. Mine says, I am perfect, no one else is me, and that is my superpower. I am in the middle of like corporate not corporate, but like post-grad job search where like you're boiled down to like if on paper you have X and Y qualification. And I get really wrapped up in feeling like I just am not qualified and like I can't compete. And then as a woman, like if I'm too much of this, too little of that, if I have one extra exclamation point in my email, like if it's too enthusiastic, if it's not driven enough, like I'm really just like gender wise and degree wise, like I have a humanities degree. I don't know. There's so much where I'm like, it's not enough. So, when I'm like in my authentic self and I know how smart I am and I know my capability and I know like my people skills and like where my passion is and that I want help and have the job, whatever, then I thrive and I actually do really well. And like I get called back for an interview and I'm like, oh my God, I thought I literally bombed that. And like, then they call me back. So I'm trying to remember that my superpower is just that I'm me and I care about being me and that is enough.
If you haven't listened to our first episode with Lauren, we actually talk about a lot of that. Do you want to come up here and do this?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Lauren. What I talked about on the podcast was one of the things that I've seen is that men will look at a job application and they'll be like, yeah, I can't do 25% of this. This doesn't actually apply to me, but like, it's fine. I'll apply for it anyway. And they have a confidence about them that they just are given things in life. And women don't have that. So women tend to want to have 110% of everything on the job description before we actually apply for the job. And you can't do that. You got to just like go in like a man and be like, yeah, I can figure that other 25% out. Like, yeah, I can absolutely do that. So have the confidence and apply for the job, and then go in knowing that if they're asking you about stuff that maybe you don't specifically have experience with, you have experience with it in some aspect in your life. Maybe you haven't managed a team, but like, do you have siblings? Have you babysat? Like, that's management, you know? So like, think about what they're asking you and turn it in a way that maybe you haven't done it in exactly the way that they're asking, but you have experience with it in some capacity in your life. Thank you.
I'm probably the oldest woman in the room. Jenny's my daughter.
Do you want to come up?
I worked in a bank when I was much younger, and as you all know, most banks are run by men. And I was constantly hitting that glass ceiling. But as a woman, and as a woman who I felt was intelligent, and I was doing more than my job, I kept pushing the boundaries. Yeah. When I would go to my senior executive officer, bring him a red pen, and he knew I didn't want him to change the proposal that I had prepared. When I was pregnant with my daughter, or actually it was with her brother, I went up and I said, what will it take to become an officer? You know, if I have to ask for leave, will it affect me? They knew what I was saying, but I had to keep pushing. And I eventually ended up running a trust department in another bank. And I've also been an entrepreneur, had my own investment management firm since 2002. So even though men see us differently, just keep pushing, do it respectfully, do it intelligently, but you are good, you're qualified, and go after what you want. And in one way or another, it will happen.
Thank you for joining us for this special episode of Gathering Voices. A heartfelt thank you to all of our special guests who shared their stories and perspectives. We made this conversation really meaningful, and to our listeners, thank you for being part of this journey. Your support and presence inspire us to keep creating spaces for connection and empowerment. Until next time, remember, you are seen, heard, and you are enough.